Welcome to DF Education Portal. So this is the eighth part of this chapter. Okay. So in the previous class we discussed about the pH scale and what is the range within the pH scale. Okay. So we said that this pH scale is actually a universal scale. By comparing the color difference and the pH range, we can know about the whether the solution is acid or base or whether it is neutral. Okay, so we can start the class. So in pH scale, P is stands for potence. Okay, so in German, this P means potence means what? The word P means potence within this pH scale. Okay, and this P meaning potence meaning is what? Power. Okay, so this scale is used to measure the hydrogen ion concentration. If the scale is having more amount of H plus ion concentration, we can say that it is acidic in nature and its value will be near to the zero. Okay, so if there is less amount of H plus ion or more amount of OH minus ion, that value will be ranging from 7 to 14. Okay, that means after 7 the H plus ion concentration is decreasing when we are moving from 7 to 14. Okay, but along with that the concentration of OH minus ion is increasing. So we can say that in between 7 and 14 the solution will show basic nature. Okay, so we can say that the last point we can see here that the universal indicator shows different colors at different concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. Okay, so here you can see the pH scale according to the color change. So in the acid medium or strong acids will show red color. When we use the litmus paper color will change from blue to red in case of acid. Okay, strong acid. And if the concentration of acid is less, it will be changing from red to yellow like that. Okay, so in this nearby 7 you can see yellow color, and when we are moving from 7 to 14 you can see it is actually bluish color. So when there is strong base, the litmus paper will show this color. Okay, so by comparing the color of litmus paper with this pH scale, this is the universal scale, universal indicator scale. So by this comparing of this litmus paper color and this pH scale color, we can correctly say that whether it is acidic or basic. Okay, so in that chapter you can see the application of pH. Okay, so if the when we are taking the case of HCl, we can see that its concentration it will have more amount of H plus ion. Okay, that means it is concentrated acid, strong acid. So what will be the color of the HCl solution? It will be showing in range of 0. pH will be 0 and that litmus paper will have dark red color. In case of sodium hydroxide, it is an example for strong base, right? So it will show the litmus paper color within this 14 range, that means blue color. Okay, so like that we can compare the color by the comparison of color of litmus paper and this pH scale. We can correctly define whether it is acidic or basic. Okay. So what here we can see that saliva before meal it will have 6 to 7 pH. That means 6 to 7 pH means what? 6 to 7 pH means here, right? So it is actually less acidic or neutral. Okay, less acidic or neutral. What about saliva after meal? It will have pH 5 to 6. That means here it is acidic. Acidic. Okay, what about lemon juice? It will show 2 to 3 pH. That means more acidic. Almost more acidic nature is having. Okay, colorless aerated drink means it will show the pH 3 to 4. That means it is an acidic solution. Okay, what about carrot juice? It will show 5 to 6.5 pH here. Okay, that means it's almost neutral but it is less acidic. Okay, what about coffee? It is actually acidic 4.8 to 5.1. That means in this region. So it is acidic. Coffee is acidic in nature. Okay, what about tomato juice? 4.1 to 4.6. That means here, right? In this region. Here it will show. Okay, that means they are acidic in nature. What about tap water? It will show pH from 6 to 8. That means in some regions it is, if there is pure water, it will show pH of 7, right? In some areas it may show 6 pH or 8 pH. That means according to the areas, the pH of this tap water may change from 6 to 8. Okay. And what about NaOH? It will show more basic, strong base nature, strong basic nature. So pH is 14. What about HCl? 0 pH, that means more acidic. Okay, that's all. So pH application in our daily life, we can say that acid rain. Okay. So actually the pH of our human body is what? 7 to 7, in range of 7 to 7.8. Okay, that means actually neutral to a less basic nature. Okay, so if there is presence of acid rain, what will happen? This acid rain will have a pH range from 5.5 to 5.6. Okay, that means it is acidic nature, acidic in nature. Okay, and there is a difference between the pH of our human body and acid rain. Okay, so what will happen during this acid rain? The nature of rain is what? Acidic nature. That's why it will show the pH in between this 5 and 5.6. Okay. Okay. So what will happen? After this acid rain, it will mix with the pond water or river water, right? So when this acid water is mixed with this river water or pond water, what will happen? This aquatic animals will suffer from pH difference, right? Due to this acidic nature within the water, what will happen? They will suffer to live. And along with that, human beings also depending upon the ponds and rivers for the water, right? So what will happen if we are intaking this water after purification? What will happen in our human body? Also this pH will decrease. There is variation within the pH range, so it will harmfully affect the life of animals and humans. Okay, so that's about the acid rain. What about digestive system? In our human digestive system, in stomach we can see diluted HCl, right? So what is the nature of diluted HCl? Diluted hydrochloric acid will show acidic nature, right? So what will happen? It will show around the region of 5. Okay, so what will happen if this more acidic is happening or gastric is happening? So the acidic nature within the stomach will increase. That means pH will decrease from 5 to 4. Okay. So what will happen? We want to neutralize this increased acidic nature. Due to this increased acidic nature, we are suffering from gastric. Okay. So to decrease this acidic nature, we want to intake some basic water which is less basic. Okay. So we will intake milk of magnesia or magnesium hydroxide, or in normal life we will take jeera water or something like that. Okay, so what is inside this one? These are used to reduce the acidic nature or to increase the pH from 4 to normal pH, 4 to 5 or 5.6. That means normal stomach pH. Okay, so by neutralizing this one only, we can reduce the gastric problems. Okay, so that's why we are intaking less basic solution if we are suffering from gastric issues. Okay, so that's all about digestive system. What about the tooth decay? Tooth decay, that means in our mouth the pH is 5.6. Okay. Okay, in that case, tooth is safe and the enamel is safe. If the pH is decreasing or if the pH is ranging to more acidic, what will happen? This increasing acidic nature is due to the presence of microbes, microorganism or bacteria present within the mouth. Okay, that means after having food, if we are not washing our mouth properly, what will happen? Bacteria will grow within the mouth, right? So due to this action of this bacteria, what will happen? This nature of this acidic nature within our mouth will decrease, or the acidic property will increase, or that means pH value will decrease. Okay, so due to this increase in acidic nature, there is chance to decay of tooth, or that will affect the enamel. Enamel is actually made up of calcium phosphate. If there is more acidic nature of, if the pH is decreasing from 5.6 to 5 or 4.8 like that, what will happen? The tooth will start to decay. That means it will affect the enamel. Okay, so to reduce this tooth decay, we are using toothpaste. So what is within this toothpaste? Toothpaste will have actually basic components. Okay, so if we are using toothpaste, what is the use? We can neutralize the more acidic nature within the mouth by the addition of this type of base by using this toothpaste. Okay, so that's all about the tooth decay. And in case of self-defense by plants and animals, if we are stung by bee and ant, we can feel itching and itching, right? That is due to the melanoic acid which is stung by this bee and ant. Okay, so if you are if you are suffering from more itching or bulging, we can apply some amount of baking soda to that. That means baking soda is actually a less basic component. So if the by the addition of this, by the stung of this bee and ant, what is happening? Acid is getting into the body. Okay, so if you are applying less basic components such as baking soda, what is happening? It is neutralizing that surface of our skin. Okay, so by that we can reduce the itching and bulging. Okay, that's all about the self defense. And what about the soil pH? Soil pH, we for before each crop production we want to check whether the soil is acidic or basic. For each type of crop production we need some amount of, for some type of plant we need basic nature having soil. For some type of crop production we need acidic nature having soil. Okay, so before each crop production we want to test whether the soil is suitable for this type of crop production or not. Okay, for that in a beaker or test tube we will take the soil from that particular crop production area and we will mix it with the water, and after shaking it we will get soil solution, right? So by checking it with the pH indicator we can define whether it is, we can understand whether this soil is acidic or basic. By that, according to that we can arrange the crop production. Okay, that's all about the application of pH with in our daily life. Okay, so when we are taking the case of natural source and acid, in our common life, in our daily life, we are using vinegar, right? So what is within this vinegar? Vinegar will have acetic acid. Okay. So within the orange, lemon, we can see citric acid. So that's why we can call this orange and lemon as citrus fruits. That means they are having citric acid. That's why we are calling it as citrus fruits. Okay, what about turmeric? It will have tartaric acid. So we can compare this name with the acid. By that we can remember each type of acid which is occurring within this fruits and vegetables. Okay, so what about tomato? Tomato will have oxalic acid. Here you can see it is having oxalic acid. What about curd? Curd will have lactic acid. Actually curd and milk will have lactic acid. Okay, so curd is produced by the lactobacillus bacteria on action with the milk. Okay, so we can say that both milk and curd is having lactic acid. Okay, what about ant sting and nettle sting? It will have methanoic acid. Okay, so that's all about the natural